Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Zesty Thoughts with your host, Annábla. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you're having a great day so far. I am chilling. I'm having a nice day. This morning I was planning, I started my official training program yesterday for my 10K in September. And so I'm like, the schedule is on. It's game time. Like, I gotta run 5 days a week. I gotta do more like tempo runs, interval runs, long runs on like Fridays. That's like kind of how I trained before. So like back on that grind. But I woke up this morning and I had no sports bras clean. I was like, what am I supposed to do? So I just skipped. I just took a rest day. I was like, I did laundry so that I would have them for next time. And yeah. So my day has been pretty chill. I just like made a matcha and just did laundry, and I've been like, doing kind of like chore type things. I record on Tuesdays usually, and then these episodes come out on Thursdays. Tuesdays are normally my days off. I normally have nothing. I just do laundry, I do chores. I have my voice lesson with my coach. I teach a few lessons, but it's like mostly my day off. So I'll record, I'll do other things, right? But yeah, I sub today though. So it's like things are a little bit different. It doesn't feel like a Tuesday. It feels like my week feels off. I subbed last Tuesday also, and it just felt like the whole week felt a day later. Like it feels like a Wednesday to me. And it was kind of like that last week. Like on Thursday, I was like, oh yeah, I have nothing tomorrow, right? And I was like, oh wait, it's not Friday, it's Thursday. But anyway, so I should have a chill day though going forward. Subbing is usually pretty easy. You just kind of follow the lesson notes on what the kids are doing, and like they're usually pretty tame because it's like someone new and they like don't want to, get in trouble. I feel like it's different than with students in like actual school. When you have a sub in school, most kids are like evil. Like they just take advantage of the teacher and they want to do nothing. So it's like they act out and stuff. But sometimes when the students come in, they like forget that their piano teacher is gone or whatever. They like don't think about it because they only come once a week. So maybe they were told the week prior and they like spaced out and forgot. So they come in and they're like, oh yeah, so the kids are usually pretty chill. So I think it'll be a nice day. Kind of warm though. I have the windows closed when I record too, because sometimes there's like gardeners and stuff outside going on. So I'm like baking in here, but it feels good. It feels good. My hair is a little bit still wet from showering, so it's okay. I'm air drying today. I'm trying to like take better care of like my hair for its specific hair type. And I have like slightly like wavy hair, but I feel like over the last few years, like it hasn't really shown. Like maybe I just haven't been taking care of hair, like taking care of wavy hair the way it should be taken care of, and like giving it enough moisture. And like I have totally switched up my hair care routine recently as of late, and it has made such a massive difference. So, I've been air drying it more too. I usually air dry anyway, unless it's like a special occasion, and then I'll do a blowout. I'm like generally pretty low maintenance with my hair. I put more time and energy into like makeup and like clothes and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's an air dry day. So I'm feeling like a little bit warm. Does anyone else feel like that after they like shower? Do you feel like hot for like hours after you shower? Like I feel like warm after I shower. Probably just from the humidity and the steam. But I don't know how people like get out of the shower and like immediately moisturize and don't like go to like a room that's not the bathroom and like cool off. Like I have to leave the bathroom and go straight into my room and like, or at least open the door or something, or a window, so that it's like not hot. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I know you're supposed to moisturize while your skin is still damp, but like usually I don't do that. Maybe that's why I have dry skin. It could be why, honestly, because I suffer with like chronic dry skin. It's like a massive It's like a problem I've had my whole life, but I don't know. Some of my family members also have dry skin, so I think it's just like a genetic thing. But anyway, to dive into a few things that I have just in like my introduction today, I want to give my friends a shout out. My friends Isaiah and Eli, they have a group called Heartbreak Alumni, and they just put out a new song, Paradise, and it's so nice. Like, it's such a chill, like summer, like vibe. It's so good. If you're into like pop R&B, I'll put the link in the description here on YouTube and on all the podcast platforms, so you can read the info and click on it and listen to it. It's so good. Like, it's like such a good like summer vibe. So I love it. It's on repeat in my playlist right now. I have this one playlist that's like kind of new music, where I just like add songs that I'm like currently obsessing over. And I put it in that playlist, so I can just, whenever I get in the car, I usually just like, that's my go-to. If I'm not feeling a certain type of music, or if I don't want to listen to new music and I just want to like binge the same 30, 40 songs, then like I click that playlist on. So anyway, maybe I'll share that playlist too. But yeah, so everyone go listen to their song and support and share and everything. Yeah, next thing on the docket. I don't know if I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but I've been in a relationship with my man, with Ibra, for about, it's coming up on like 3.5 years. Like in February, it will be 4, which is crazy. But I don't know that I mentioned ever that we're long distance. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and how my experience has been with being in a long distance relationship, and like all the things that come with that. And it's going to end on a positive note because I'm going to visit him in November. I'm so excited. But yeah, it's so interesting. Like, we met when he was here. He was living here in LA. And we met and we dated from like kind of beginning of 2021 up until he had to like go home. Like, he was working on OPT for like a year, but that job they like don't offer like sponsorships and stuff, or they do, but it's like on a lottery, so it's like you might not like get it. So the job that he was working at like didn't work out, and he had to go back home. So it was a tough like decision, but we were both like, no, like we're gonna just make it work. I think there was a little bit more peace of mind like approaching that, because his parents like at one point were also long distance, and like they have a really successful partnership. So I was like, okay, well, like, you know, that makes it a little less scary that you have seen that, you know, as an example of like love in your life, and you know that it can work out. So that gives me a little hope too. So yeah, we just made the decision. He moved back home. He's been there since like end of 2022. So we're coming up on 2 years long distance, which is crazy to think about. It's honestly gone by so fast. Like, one of the things that I will say that everyone kind of says surrounding long distance relationships is that just take advantage of the extra time that you have to like focus on yourself and your career and you know, things that you enjoy and your passions. That way you don't like drive yourself insane missing the other person, you know? And I definitely have done that in the last 2 years. So I think for that reason, like because I've been mostly busy, it's gone by really fast, and it doesn't even feel like it's been 2 years. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just such a weird experience. Admittedly, this is like my first long-term relationship ever, and it's long distance. So there have just been a lot of firsts, and I feel like if you really have a partner that is very understanding of, you know, your perspective and within relationships and like where you're coming from, and they just like actually really love you, then you can make it work. And, you know, there's obviously hard like days, and with us it's kind of tricky because our time difference is sometimes it's 10 hours, sometimes it's 12 hours, because here in California we do daylight savings. But there they don't. So no, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 11 hours. So right now it's a 10-hour time difference. So it's pretty crazy because I'll be waking up and it's like he's winding down for the day. And then when I'm winding down for the day, he's like starting his shift. He's like getting ready or going to work or at work. So that is the one like unique thing. If you have like very like really, really long distance, to the extent that you have a massive time difference like that, it can be really challenging. I mean, for the most part, it like works out. On my way to work, we talk a lot because he's just winding down for the day. And then on occasion, if he's like feeling like it, maybe he'll call me on his way to work if he's not in too much of a rush and like scrambled, you know. But yeah, no, it's such an interesting experience. And I feel like if you really love your partner and like are like, no, you know, we have plans for the future and we don't want to abandon those plans for us and, you know, our life together. And you really love and care about each other, then it can work. It's obviously it's challenging, but it can definitely work. The one thing that's tricky is like when you're in those kind of in between stages of like having visited each other and you haven't planned the next visit. Like I visited him last May and I was kind of up in the air about, we were both up in the air about when we were going to see each other next because he was working a job and then he started a new job. So he had to start reaccruing like his vacation time. And so it was kind of like, oh, well, he's going to come visit, but he wants to wait till he has more vacation time so he can come and like make a good trip out of it. So we were kind of in this limbo for a while of like, okay, well then should I go, you know? But I had a little time off in November anyway. So I was like, I'm just going to jump on this opportunity and visit him because I don't want to wait any longer. You know, neither of us want to wait. So I'm so excited. I'm going to go for 2 weeks and visit him and his family and everything. And we might go to Dubai. Like, I'm so excited. By the way, he's in Saudi Arabia. He's in Al Khabar, which is like the east coast of Saudi Arabia. His city is so beautiful. It's really nice. But yeah, it's pretty close to Dubai, I guess, like a pretty short flight. So we might do that. I'm like, I wasn't going to like say anything when I was like, oh, I'm going to fly and come visit you. Cause we've in the past like joked about like going to Dubai at one point while I'm there visiting him. But I wasn't sure with like cause he's still gonna be working when I'm there. So I wasn't sure with his work schedule, like if that would work out or if it would make sense or not be worth it. But he was like, no, let's go to Dubai, like we'll plan it. It's like, what? That's so cool. So I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to that and just spending more time with him and his family and all that. So I am smitten. I'm looking forward to that. I'm so stoked. And I will definitely I'm probably going to bring my equipment so that I can do a podcast there. I'd love to do an episode with him, obviously. Because since starting the podcast, like we haven't seen each other. So I can do an episode with him and then maybe an episode or two with his, with one of his brothers or with his brothers or his family or something. He has a younger brother that owns a coffee shop that I shouted out in episode 5. So that might be kind of cool to like interview him and hear about his business and like being a business owner and all that. But anyway, I digress. I'm just so excited and I can't wait. And I will be like, maybe I'll start like vlogging too. And I'll vlog a little bit of my trip, but I'll definitely record it at least 2 episodes while I'm there. And I'll bring you guys along with me so you can see what it's like in his city. It really is so cool. And I just can't wait to share all of that part of my life. It's just so amazing. So anyway, okay, let's jump straight into my hot toddy take of the week. I don't know if this is like that controversial, but it's just something that I have like observed in the last like month or so as I've been like running outside more. Cause like I said before, the treadmill is just so like nauseating and like I get too hot. I like overheat uncontrollably when I'm on a treadmill in a gym. So it's just like not the vibe. So I've been running outside more and I feel like I have picked up on some like running etiquette. And I also feel like a lot of people have not picked up on this running etiquette. And this is what I want to comment on. Basically, like when you're running, sometimes it depends for me. There are some streets that like in my area, by now I already know that like there's big bumps in the sidewalk or there's like a tree root, you know, or there's like weird cracks or weird things in the sidewalk that like, I'm just like, okay, next time I'm on the street, I'm just going to go into the actual street because I don't want to like have to like walk over that. It's just going to like increase my chance of like landing weird on an ankle and injuring all of that. I'd much rather just run on the actual street. And I'm lucky enough that like the streets I'm running on purposely, I'm also not running on busy streets so that if I do need to hop into the road, I can safely and not be like worried if like a car is coming. But like when you're on the sidewalk and you're running, I don't know, part of me thinks like maybe runners shouldn't be on the sidewalk. Like I feel like maybe you should just stick to the road, but I also think that depends on like the safety of like where you are and like how many cars are on the road and all of that. But I feel like when you're on the sidewalk, if you are running on the sidewalk and you see like someone with a dog approaching, you should like move out of the way. Because like I had one experience with a tiny dog and it was not like really that even close to me. It was kind of further away because the sidewalk was wider, but like the dog like barked and freaked out. And like I wasn't like scared because it was like a little dog. I wasn't worried about it. But part of me is like, oh, well, what if that was like a bigger dog? I'd probably be a little nervous. Also, I don't want the owner to be like, you know, like it's like if the dog gets like distressed by you like running by it, like that's kind of rude too. Like I wouldn't want to like scare a dog, you know? So I have like observed that just that one time. And from that one experience, it was like every time I see a dog on the sidewalk, I'm just going to go into the street because that like they're on their walk, they're trying to find grass and stuff. Like I don't want to be in their way. So I will just kind of jump into the street, at least to go around them. But yeah, also when I see people with strollers, I feel like that's just like the nice thing to do so that you don't like run by and like scare the baby, the little child. But yeah, I don't know. I saw a guy running almost ram into like a woman with a stroller. So that's why I was like, oh, I mean, instinctively I just moved around anyway. Cause like, I don't know. I just like, I didn't even think that it would be like, I would have a room to go around them. So part of me was just like, I'll just go on the street for a second. But then I did see someone like run and like almost not like knock the stroller down, but they like bumped into it. And I was like, oh, like that's not cool. You should just go around. So I don't know if that's like a known etiquette thing or if that's something that I'm just discovering now. And it's like, that's a thing already. Maybe it is. And then that's like fair because I haven't been running for like years and years and years. Like I've only been running for like a year or two, but I feel like that's just like some basic etiquette stuff that like I've like observed. And I'm like, I feel like you should just share the sidewalk. And I feel like you should just get out of people's way, you know? But yeah, that's like a little running etiquette. I also noticed some people like when I'm running down on the path by the beach, like people will be like on your left or like on your right. And that's like, I feel like that's like fair if you have like no choice but to pass someone, like you can't go around them, then like that's fine. I mean, you can't help but go around them, then that like makes sense to say that. But to me, it's like, why would I like, I don't know. I feel like that could scare someone too if they're like not paying attention or whatever, and then someone's just like on your right. It's like, what? Like, I don't know. That might like startle me if I was just like walking my dog or a baby. But anyway, so maybe that's my hot take of the week. I don't know if that's too hot of a take, but I feel like there are people that don't observe those things and they just are like willy-nilly and they just like feel like they can just run wherever. And it's like, no, you should like be aware of your surroundings and be respectful of like neighbors and people in the neighborhood, you know? I just feel like that's like the nice thing to do. But anyway, okay. I'm thirsting for two things right now. First thing, short and sweet, stone fruit. I am just like, I've been on such a cherry kick. I'm getting cherries like every week from Trader Joe's. Also peaches. I order sometimes from Farm Fresh to You, which is like organic like grocery delivery. It's like local grocery deliveries. It's kind of like getting stuff from like a farmer's market, but they deliver to you without a delivery fee, and the prices are like a little bit more like reasonable compared to like a farmer's market prices, which are usually astronomical. Sometimes justifiable. I get like being like a small business and having to lug everything out there and having to, you know, going out and being a vendor. I know from like friends that I know that that's very hard work. So in some instances, I'm like, no, it's justifiable to like have a little bit more of like a price hike. But we all know sometimes it gets a little bit out of hand and a little bit ridiculous. So this is a nice resource that I found recently, and I got the first box and I got some like nectarines and peaches. Oh my God. Those peaches were like heaven sent. They were insane. They were so good. So good. So yeah, that's my first thirst of the week is stone fruit, like 100%. Secondly, I have recently gotten into a new show on Netflix, and I'm going to double check the name right now. It is Netflix. I'm going to click on it right now so that I can find it. Yeah, it is my new favorite thing. It is America's Sweethearts. It's about, it's like a documentary about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and like the process by which they like audition and like the whole boot camp and everything for their selection for the cheerleaders every year. And I've only watched about like 2 episodes, so I haven't really gotten to any like major dirt yet, but I am literally obsessed. And I, coming from someone that like I used to dance, but I have no connection, background, or knowledge whatsoever regarding the world of cheer. Like I am so far removed from it. I don't really think I even know anybody that's done cheer, like personally. Maybe I should ask some friends that maybe did at one point, but I really don't think I know anybody that's like been in that world. So I have no clue. I've seen some like famous cheer movies, but like that was like when I was little, like it's not something that I'm like educated on. And watching this is so fascinating. Like, I mean, obviously the audition process is very interesting to see like the criteria and what they're looking for. There's almost like a debate, I'm sure, that could be had for the selection process. It's like a little bit shallow, but like also that's what the cheerleaders are. It's always kind of been, I mean, as it's evolved, cheerleaders, there's always been like a shallow aspect to it. So that's a little bit questionable, I'm sure. And that could be like a whole other can of worms to open about like, hey, should we be a little bit more inclusive with cheerleaders and, all of that. But the show is very interesting. I am so excited to get into like the dirt and the drama because it's pretty tame so far. That's kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a little crazier. I mean, there's like an episode, spoiler alert, where like basically the class from the previous year doesn't automatically get in the next year. So like you have to re-audition every single year to continue to be a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys, which I think is like kind of nuts, but I get it. It like creates a little bit more competition, and then it opens their horizons for like maybe they had an issue with someone one year and then they could just like politely, the Southern way, they can just politely not ask them back. You know what I mean? So that I assume is like part of it, but yeah, that's super intense. So there's like one episode where like they give the girls, like they choose the girls for the boot camp, and all the girls that are alumni from a previous year are like sobbing because a bunch of girls didn't get asked back, and it's just so awkward because all these girls that are brand new to the franchise, that are getting picked for the first time, like they're so excited. It's like, to them, it's like the best moment of their lives. Like they're looking forward to all this, and like it's just like this dark moment. All these other girls are crying and sobbing. And it's just like, what? Like, oh my gosh, it was just so crazy. And then all the girls are like, I feel bad. We don't want to like ruin your moment. It's like, well, you kind of are. Not to be insensitive, but it's like, you kind of are ruining our moment. Like, but we're sorry that you like have to say goodbye to these girls. But like, that's part of the deal. I don't know. But it's crazy. It's so funny to see. And I'm excited. I'm going to watch a few more episodes this week so that next time I record, I can report back. And then if anyone else is watching the show, comment and let me know like what you think, because it's so interesting. I think also just because I have no knowledge of like cheer whatsoever, that I'm like, how does this like work? Like, what's the process? What is the mindset? Like, what is happening? And to see how, I think the biggest shock to me was to see how like a lot of different girls that are chosen have like vastly different skills when it comes to like cheer and movement and dance. Like they all come from different backgrounds. Like some women are like trained with like ballet and like classically more trained with dance. And then some women have like a ballroom background. And then some women have like more of just like a contemporary background where they're like not really that technical dancers, which is so interesting to me. But they still, you know, they have that like charisma and that like that riz. So they're like delectable, like, you know, they have to be chosen. And so they're like willing to kind of overlook some technical things for that. But I don't know, it's interesting. It's giving like the kick line is giving what's it called? What are they called in New York City? Oh my gosh, what are those girls called? New York City Rockettes. It's giving the Rockettes. They stole that from the Rockettes. All those kick lines, they were like, yeah, it's like a known, like iconic, like Dallas Cowboys. Like we're known for our kick lines. So I was like, I'm pretty sure the New York City Rockettes are known for their kick lines. Thank you very much. But I digress. Anyway, but I just think it's so interesting and I can't wait to watch more. I'm trying to dive more into reality TV because sometimes I want TV to just escape. Sometimes I want to like dive into true crime and be like, oh my God, humans are messed up in the brain. Excuse the siren. And sometimes I just want to like watch stuff that like lowers my IQ. Sometimes I just want to watch stuff that is like brain numbing and just like makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I don't know that that's what this show is, but like reality TV in general, I'm so behind. I've watched an episode here or there of Love Island and I've seen clips, have not watched all of Love Island USA or UK. I think I'm probably going to do the UK version first because I can't wait. I want to watch both, but I feel like the UK will just be so much more interesting because of the accent. I am not really a bachelor or bachelorette girly, but I don't know. I feel like if I open this can of worms, there might not be going back, and I might not have a choice. I might just have to binge it all. I don't know. If anybody has recommendations of like what I should start first, please tell me. Because like I really want to do Love Island UK. I want to watch that really bad, but I think I'm gonna finish this and then maybe y'all can recommend what I should start with. Bachelor, Bachelorette, Love Island. I know there's like literally a million other reality like dating shows, but I think they're so entertaining. And yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty much it for today. My students have been so tame. I haven't really had anything out of pocket come out of any of my students' mouths this week. But I'm sure that all these weeks of no out of pocket quotes are going to catch up and something crazy is going to happen. And then I'm going to have something that's just going to make up for all of it. So anyway, I'll keep y'all updated on that. Trust me, when one of my students goes a little crazy, you will hear about it and I will share and I will spill the tea. But yeah, anyway, thank y'all for joining today. I'm keeping it short and sweet. Cami will be coming on, I think in 2 episodes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So Cami Curran will be a guest 2 episodes from now. So everybody look forward to that. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and have fun and stay cool. And I'll see you next week. Bye.